Might help if I put my mic down. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Orioles Franchise. We are in year 2. I know I have not done this in quite a while. It's been a wild year. I moved, I got married, I became a dad. Life has changed completely. I just do not have the time to do this like I used to. I've tried to make commitments to stream more often than the past, and it's just not something I've been able to stick to. There's just so much going on in life that it's hard to be able to consistently do this. So it's probably going to be something where like I just kind of jump in occasionally, do a stream when I have time and I'm feeling up to it. And a lot of my gameplay is just going to be offline. Probably not going to have much time to do CPU versus CPU simulations anymore. Maybe that'll change sometime down the road, but at least for the time being, I don't see that being a possibility. So, my Orioles franchise. I started year 1 with the Orioles. We got off to like a slow start. I think we were as many as like 15 games under 500 at one point. Finished the season very strong to climb back over 500 and go 82 and 78. Wasn't enough to make the playoffs. I made some changes in the offseason, made some signings, really added to this team, continue to build out a young roster that is only going to get better from here, but we're already the 3rd-ranked team. This team is really built around pitching, defense, and kind of a contact speed offense with some power, but it's also not the sorry, I got a text message. It's also not the foundation of this team. It's not just going to be a slugging team, although there is some of that. Sorry, I am not doing well speaking. Let's take a look at the roster. Aaron Nola came over, free agent signing, 4-year deal. Looks like it's about $90 million. He is the ace of the staff. Hunter Green, 24 years old, 84 A potential. Grayson Rodriguez, 24, 82 A potential. Michael Kopech was another free agent signing. I honestly, I wasn't going to sign Kopech. I was going to have Pater be the 4th starter and Dean Kremer. No. Let me rephrase that. I was going to have Pater debut at some point during the season. I was going to go into the season with Kramer and Irvin as the 4-5. Irvin has since transitioned to the bullpen. And Kramer, who started the year in the rotation, has now been replaced by Pater, got off to a pretty miserable start. 5.17 ERA. It was time to move on. He's still a valuable piece for this team. If there's an injury, he'll come up, and I think he'll do a good job. He's also a trade piece, potentially. But it's time to get a look at Andrew Pater. Michael Kopech's been really good. Like I said, I wasn't going to sign him, but he was so cheap. $6.6 million per year for a 4-year deal. I was like, how do I not do that? Andrew Pater. I've got him locked in through 2029 at just $2.3 million. Really excited to see what he can do. The bullpen, I got Yon Duran, hard-throwing righties, the setup guy. I signed Ronaldo Lopez in the offseason. DL Hall. Brian Baker just got sent down to AAA. When I brought in Ronaldo Lopez, I didn't need Brian Baker. Baker's been fantastic in AAA, but he was just okay in the majors. You see last year for us, He had 16 holds, 50 innings, 375, 149 whip. Not great. I just never trusted him. That's why I brought in Ronaldo Lopez, and he's been lights out so far. Keegan Thompson still pretty good in a long relief role. Keegan Aiken also in a long relief role. Felix Bautista's the closer. Pretty solid. Gives up some homers. Will walk a few guys, but the stuff's electric. Feel pretty comfortable with him. Adley Rushman is just outstanding. Going to continue to grow. Probably become the best catcher in the game. Love playing with this guy. Sam Huff is the backup. I believe I definitely traded for Sam Huff and then signed him to a bit of an extension. Pretty cheap backup. Plays pretty good defense. Has a big arm. Can hit lefties or righties well enough to at least play passable backup catcher. I've got Bo Naylor in the minors. If something happens to Rushman, it's going to be Naylor who comes up and starts. I don't exactly know what to do with him because it's probably about time that he starts getting some at-bats in the majors. But I don't know where that's going to be. He has third base as a secondary position. I could add outfield to that. He's got the athleticism to do that. But, again, I'm not going to put Bo Naylor in left field and just let him play. So he's kind of there just as a reserve right now in AAA. Might use him as trade bait at some point. I've also got Diego Cartaya, big-time catching prospect. The Dodgers, for some reason, put him on the trade block. I made an offer that I didn't really expect to get the job done, and it did. So it's okay, I guess I'll just take a top catching prospect. Again, unless he's gonna at some point become the backup catcher, he's probably just gonna be trade fodder. I got some depth here: Jose Godoy, Matthew Nelson, Patrick Bailey, Patrick Mazeika. Nelson and Bailey might eventually at some point develop into backup catcher types, but none of these guys are really going to do much other than just be organizational depth. First base, Ryan Mountcastle, pretty good first baseman. I'm pretty satisfied here. He doesn't hit for high on base, but he really slugs. As long as that slugging percentage stays up around 475 to 500, he's going to be a pretty good player. I don't know. I feel like we might be able to do better at some point at first base, but for now, Mountcastle is just fine. Nick Prado is starting to gain more playing time for me, mostly in the outfield, in the corner outfield. He's really coming into his own this season. 290, 388 OBP, 610 slugging percentage. He's really been a monster. Luke Raley, Bobby Bradley, Taylor Jones, Luke and Baker, all just organizational depth guys. If there's an injury at first base, it'll probably be Luke Raley who gets some at-bats. Jorge Polanco at second base. This is one of the positions where, I just have a guy there. I don't really have a clear plan. I'm waiting for, one of my prospects to sort of emerge and make it so that, I've got to get this guy in the lineup. Until then, I'm hoping Polanco kind of locks things down. In 2023, he was great. 279, 342 on base, 490 slugging percentage. He was just a really, really solid player. 2.3 wins above replacement. That is just a solidly above average starter for a guy who got under 508 at-bats. If you prorate that to 550 or 600 at-bats, that's like a 3-win. He's just a pretty good starter. but also not the long-term answer. I've got him under contract through 2025. That contract is tradable if at any point I want to move on. I've got Leover Peguero. Again, another guy who got put on the trading block from Pittsburgh. I said, like, let's see if I could just kind of throw them some organizational depth and get another pretty good prospect, and I did. They accepted the trade. I feel like I kind of fleeced them. He's been really good at AAA. And there's a chance that at some point he might get a shot to play a little bit in the majors. He's making $650,000. I haven't extended him yet. Probably will later in the season. Carter Kieboom is on a 2-year deal. I picked him up in free agency as organizational depth. Not a great player. Not a great player. Danny Mendick, Travis Blankenhorn, Max Schrock, all just sort of depth guys. Brendan Donovan is playing a utility role this year, and he's been very, very good in that role. He was a pretty good starter for us last year at third, but I figured like this is probably about his ceiling, just being like a pretty good third baseman. 2.2 wins above replacement. Again, like you could do worse than Brendan Donovan as a starter, but I wanted to kind of make third base a power position rather than just a position where I just have a guy who's passable. And Brendan Donovan, as far as a utility guy, plays second, third, short, anywhere in the outfield. Like this, he is really a super valuable position or a super valuable player in that role. That's where his true value is, not necessarily as an everyday player, but as a guy who's going to play 3-4 times a week. Brett Beatty, I acquired from the Mets. Got him under team control through 2028. I really like Beatty. He's hits righties better than lefties. He's got good plate discipline. Plays pretty good defense at third base. This is a guy that I want to kind of develop into a power hitting third baseman. It hasn't happened so far this year. He's only hitting 200, 651 OPS. Like that's not great. He's not having a great season. I'm kind of hoping that the average goes up and we see a little bit more power. Luke Williams, pretty good depth third baseman. Jason Fossler, same thing. Kevin Padlow, not bad. Here's a draft pick that we had, Blade Charlton. Shortstop. I did not know what to do here at shortstop. I had late in the free agency, my plan was to go with Braden Shoemake and Jorge Mateo as a platoon until whenever I felt like Gunnar Henderson was ready. I was not super confident in Gunnar Henderson. As you look, I gave him a shot in the major leagues last year, and he was terrible. Terrible. 195, 265, 297, 563 OPS. I mean, the walk rate was decent, and the strikeout rate at 25.1 is okay. He just didn't hit. There was just no power behind anything. He had a negative WAR. I had to send him down and be like, this guy needs to develop more because he was starting to regress. And I was like, I can't have that with the guy who is supposed to be one of the centerpieces of this team. So I had him start the year at AAA. He's hitting the ball pretty well at AAA. He had an injury early on in the season, so he's got limited at bats. I'd like to bring him back up at some point. I don't want to do that until like I'm pretty confident he's going to stick. So with that uncertainty, as free agency went on and Ahmed Rosario had not signed, I started to take a closer look at Ahmed Rosario, and decided to pull the trigger. And my reasoning for doing that was, okay, like, if I sign Ahmed Rosario to a 4-year deal, if he can come in and be a good player for me, he's off to a great start to the season, 814 OPS. Even if he falls in line with his 2023 season, that's still a pretty good player. Like you see with his defensive ratings, that's almost a 4-win player. That is a near all-star level performance. So, excuse me, I gotta take a drink. So I decided whenever Henderson is ready, I am either going to slide Henderson over to second base to replace Polanco or Rosario over to second base. Henderson has a little bit better arm, so maybe he'll stick at short and I'll slide Rosario over to second. And then I will have Rosario playing either second or short until whenever Jackson Holiday is ready, which could be 2-3 years, and then I'll look to move on from Rosario. But he plugs a 2-3 year hole right now. Very happy with that signing. It's worked out well. Lucius Fox's depth. Ernesto Bautista was a draft pick. Sorry, my throat gets dry every time I do one of these, and then also all of Canada is on fire. So living in the Midwest, like, our air is super smoky and not great right now, so that's also irritating my throat. So I'm probably going to cough and have to take a drink a lot during this, but if you've watched any of my videos before, you're used to that. Ian Happ is a left fielder. He has been fantastic. He was great last year. I think I had him hitting in the 2-hole. He hits 20 homers, 73 RBIs. This year, I have him hitting cleanup. He's hitting 326 with a 435 on base. Slugging out of this world. I mean, he's been fantastic. Nick Gordon is another guy with great positional versatility. Gets on base pretty well against righties. Can hit lefties, but not super well. Cody Thompson, Connor Joe, Jake Cave, Willie Calhoun is just all sort of organizational depth. Cedric Mullins, everyday center fielder. Having a rough year so far. Last year he was pretty good. Finished 2.8 WAR. If he can get back to 2.8, somewhere close to 3, I'll be very happy with that. That's fine. Got him for a few more years. Also have Pete Crow Armstrong. Was able to steal him from the Cubs. This guy is going to be the everyday center fielder at some point. It looks like he already got some at bats with the Cubs last year. It hit pretty well, so like I don't know why they were willing to trade him even, but glad they did. Worked out well for me. Also have Colton Cowser. I just don't really have a spot for him. He might be a guy who kind of takes over for Nick Gordon in a year or two. I know I've got Gordon locked up, but Cowser is already maybe a better player. He has a little bit less versatility, but also have Adam Hazley, Daz Cameron, and Corey Ray as depth. Right field, Cody Bellinger, very good defensively. Mashes against righties. He's got to be platooned against lefties. But you see, like, the results haven't been great. He had a pretty good year for the Cubs last year. Not outstanding, but still put up 2.2 was above replacement. Off to a slow start this year. If there's any place on this team that I maybe look at and say, I might consolidate some of this talent and make a trade, it's probably right field. Like I've got some prospect depth that I just don't really know what to do with. I'm just kind of holding on to now. It might be a right field where that winds up going. I might package like Bellinger. Kowser's a possibility. Let's see. Peguero, I don't really have a clear answer for what to do with him. Naylor and Cartaya. Like, I could package some of these guys together and probably get a pretty high-end right fielder, and it might be something that I look at doing at some point. Nola Jones is kind of the last guy on my bench. Plays corner infield, corner outfield, hits righties pretty well. Good plate discipline, pretty good fielder. He's a guy that I don't mind putting in there to give a day off to any of my guys against a right-handed pitcher. Jalen Davis, Billy McKinney, Justin Williams, Micker Adolfo, all organizational depth. So this is a really, really good and deep roster. Still chasing the Red Sox and Rays in the division. Gonna try to make up some ground today. Got a game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kopech on the mound. And I think we're about ready to jump in. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go with the black jerseys for the Pirates. Those are pretty nice. And we're just going to go with the home jerseys. Quick counts on. Michael Kopech. I could flip Kopech and Painter so we get a first look at Painter, but it's not like this is his major league debut. He had a couple starts last year. They were not good. I didn't control him in either one of those starts. They were both computer starts, but he got roughed up a bit. If this was his major league debut, I might go ahead and skip ahead and play with him, but I'm just going to ride with Kopech. I don't want to change anything up. Happ, Mullins, Mountcastle's the DH, Rushman catching, Prado playing first base, Polanco at second, Bellinger at right, Beatty at third, and Ahmed Rosario playing short. That looks like a good lineup to me. The Pirates, Bay, Hayes, Reynolds, Cruz.
Hello and welcome.
All right, let's skip through this. I don't need to see that. Michael Kopech, 4-2, 3.92 ERA. Struck out 32 and 41 in the third innings, 138 whip. The whip's a little bit elevated, but the ERA is about where I want it to be.
It seems like there's more pressure. He's more calm and settles.
All right, 1-2 count. Let's start him off the fastball away.
Most guys, they get a little tight. They start to aim the baseball.
And it's looped into left. That's going to be an easy play for Happ. One away.
And he's able to wiggle off the hook of tough situations.
And that'll bring up Brian Hayes. He's off to a hot start. 338 batting average, OPS at 941. He looks like he's a little bit hot. Let's stick with a fastball away. If we can just get quick, easy contact, I'm fine with that.
Swing and a miss.
Looks like he was out in front.
2-2.
All right, let's run a slider down and away, see if we can get a swing and a miss. Ooh, he laid off. All right, let's go circle change, down and in on a full count. Soft grounder to second. Polanco boots it. Recovers, throws the first in time. Polanco, not a great defensive second baseman. He's mostly bat first.
Brian Reynolds here.
Brian Reynolds, 801 OPS, despite hitting just 245. That's probably going to come up. Let's, again, fastball away. Let's stay away from him.
And that's in for a strike.
And he takes strike two. All right, 1-2 count. Let's go change up, down off the plate, see if we get him to chase. Nope.
Way outside, 2-2.
All right. I'm going to go slider down and in. If he lays off this, then I'll come back fastball.
That one
He takes
inside.
it. 3-2. All right, we're going to go back to the fastball away. Fouls it off. He's a little bit late. All right, let's go back to change up down.
And he deals. Fouled
Ooh,
off
he's
again.
out front, lines at
It
foul.
remains 3-2.
I'm most confident in the fastball. He slaps a single the other way, I'm fine.
Swinging a foul ball.
He's out in front.
At the
We're going
plate.
back to the changeup.
The wind of the pitch. Chop
Soft
left side.
grounder. Kopech rushes in, long
Slings to
throw,
first.
in time.
Out number 3. And 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates. And now the O's will get their first crack at it. No score.
1, 2, 3,
Watching
top of the
Major League
first.
Baseball on the show.
Had to throw a lot of pitches, but got the right outcome.
Back here in Baltimore, our starter in this one, Brad Keller.
Very dominant his last time out, picked up the win, only allowed 1 run. These guys would love to see
Brad Keller,
back on his
305
game in this one.
ERA despite a 146 whip. He's not striking anybody out. He has more walks than strikeouts, so like I don't think that ERA is real. There's probably going to be some regression, and hopefully it starts today. Fastball now in the middle, and we put a good swing on it, but chopped it right to the second baseman.
Cedric Mullins.
3-2 count to Cedric Mullins.
One down, base is empty.
Fastball down the middle, and that one is belted deep to right. The Orioles are on the board with a solo homer by Cedric Mullins.
Majestic shot. It's his
I mean, there were only so many fastballs down the middle Brad Keller was going to get away with before this lineup put a hurt on him. He got away with the first one to Happ, didn't get away with the second one to Mullins. And it's 1-0 O's.
Chris, that ball came out hot.
Just another up right out over the plate.
Really did, Boog. 111
And I might have been slightly early on it,
Really
but
nice launch angle.
got a good result.
Just a beautiful swing from start to finish.
Full count again to Mountcastle.
He's sitting on 99 career homers.
That ball was crushed up the middle base hit.
And a base hit. So a man aboard now.
I've seen 3 pitches so far this game, and they've all been fastballs down the middle.
Fastball, middle of the plate, jumped all over.
All right, 1-1 count to Rushman.
Here's Adley Rutschman. The 1-1.
That ball was over the middle of the plate, too. That was a slider.
Mountcastle. Round second on his way to third.
I'm going to send the runner,
Throw cut off.
and he's going to score 2-0 Orioles.
A run comes in on the play.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than
So
that.
far, Brad Keller has nothing.
Looked like that was exactly what he wanted to do with that pitch, and right off the bat,
Adley Rushman hangs in there on a slider up out over the plate, lines it in the left center field gap
Here's
for a
Nick
double.
Pratto. Put that 600 slugging into context. The league average usually in the low 400s. 1-1 now.
Ooh, there we go. He got me on a changeup. I thought it was another fastball down the middle. He got me out in front.
Really good look. He's going to have to find a way to get some weak contact, maybe a swing and miss, get into that dugout and hit the reset button.
2-2 count to Prado.
The runner at second with
Runner
one
in
away.
scoring position, 1 out. And that ball is lined in the right center field gap. It's a hit parade.
Run comes in from second.
That is going to be a
It's
stand-up
and
double
that's a
for Nick
double.
Prado. It is 3-0 O's.
Oh, and they're really swinging it here. Off the bat, it was headed for the gap all the way.
I said when we looked at Brad Keller's numbers coming into this game that he was due for some regression. That 3.10 ERA was probably not going to hold up, and we hope to be able to get to him in this game. And that's exactly what's happened.
That misses
Take a
the
slider down and in. 2-1 count to Jorge Polanco.
runner at second here, one gone. In there
Polanco
at the
takes a
It's
sinker
2-2.
on the inner half for a strike. Borderline call goes against him.
Ground ball right
Chopper to
side.
second.
In play,
2 away.
Chopper
The runner
first,
moves up to
and
third.
Polanco is out.
And that'll bring up Cody Bellinger. 2 away. Runner on third.
Next pitch
Take ball
inside.
3, inner half.
3-2.
Bellinger's been hot of late.
Good
Had to
job fight that
protect.
one off.
Fouled off deep down the left field line. Out of play.
2 outs with a runner at third.
That's going to be a base hit up the middle. 4-0 Orioles. It was a changeup on the outer half. I was a little bit early on it, but we got a little bit lucky there. Rolled that one through the middle of the diamond.
Just shot it through the infield.
So far, everything that we put in play against Brad Keller seems to be finding a hole.
Brett Beatty, the next to hit.
Brett Beatty to the plate. Ooh, swing and a foul ball on the fastball. It was a little bit late. 1-2 count.
Give him one of those tough innings where it's going to be hard for him to recover in the next one.
Takes a sinker away, 2-2. Half tempted to send the runner, but I might wait until it goes 3-2. That ball is well hit to left. That's trouble. It is down for extra bases. I'm going to hold Beatty at second. The run will score. 5-0 Orioles. And this has got to be about it for Brad Keller. I would not be surprised if they make a pitching change. That was just a fastball outer half. I knew I got a pretty good piece of it. Jack Sawinski couldn't get back to that ball in left field. I don't know quite what he was doing. I don't know why he was playing so shallow. And that's going to be it for Brad Keller. A nightmare start for Brad Keller. He goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 5 earned runs. I think he gave up 4 extra base hits. And now we are going to see Colin Holderman, who has a 4.78 ERA in 26 1/3 innings, struck out 22, walked 11. The ERA is a little bit elevated, but the underlying numbers are at least better than what Keller came into the game with. Ooh, that was a pretty good slider. I was way out in front.
And down on strikes he goes.
Yeah, strike 3.
Ends the inning after they
okay, so just getting a quick look at Holderman stuff. I think he's going to be a little bit more of a problem for us than Brad Keller was. But we're off to a 5-0 start, so let's throw a lot of strikes to Michael Kopech and see if we can get some quick outs. Let's go fastball away. That was fastball down the middle. That's not what we wanted. He was late on it, so let's rush a fastball up and see if he can catch up to it. I didn't want it that far up.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
All right, you see 2 fastballs. Let's come back with the change-up, run it down and away. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the cat. He wants fed. It's about that time. I might have to pause this at some point in a couple minutes to go feed the cat, because I promise you this cat will not shut up until he gets fed.
Man, that's a tough time to hit.
I hit Cruz with an inside slider. He's on first. He's got fantastic speed. Not a great base stealer.
And now here is.
And he's not going on the first pitch. Sawinski swings through a fastball. Let's go change up down and away. See if we get him to chop one on the ground. Oh, he lays off a borderline pitch. Here's where I would like to go slider down and in, but I have not had success with that pitch so far this game. That's exactly where I want to put that, and he somehow checked the swing.
He finished that really well. Just couldn't get him to offer at it.
Let's go back to the fastball, fouls it off. Again, we're throwing a lot of pitches because I don't feel like I found the put-away pitch. There's a swing and a miss on the changeup. So far, it's been all fastball changeup. I really need to get that slider working. I don't particularly love throwing curveballs. If I do mix them in, it's usually like a get-me-over pitch for the first strike. So if I can't use that slider effectively, He's probably going to be more of a two-pitch pitcher today, and he's probably not going to be in this game longer than like 5 innings. We are up 1-2 to Choi. He was late on a fastball, so let's go fastball up. And he's late on that. Strike 3. 2 away. Harrison Bader. Let's go curveball to Harrison Bader. Strike 2. That's how I like to use the changeup. Or the curveball. I like to throw it in fastball counts to try to steal a strike. It's not really an out pitch for me. I see O'Neal Cruz sneaking off of first a little bit, but I don't care. It's a 1-2 count. Let's try to get the strikeout with a high fastball.
Got him.
There it is. He went. Strike 3.
Pirates leave 1. Back now at Oriole Park.
All right, back to the top of the order for the second inning. We batted around in the first. Well, depending on your definition of batting around. Everybody hit in the top of the first.
Backdoored him with a breaking ball. Just got the corner. There's nothing you can really do with that.
Ooh, slider inside. I'm not picking up the slider super well from Holderman. And I don't really like hitting sinkers.
Next pitch is downstairs.
Sinker pitchers give me a little bit more trouble than guys who throw 4 seams. Full count to Hap. Oh, I was protecting, lined into center field. That's going to hold up. Reynolds is under it.
Next for the Orioles, Cedric Mullins. He's already homered in this one.
Back to Mullins, 1 for 1 with a solo homer in the first. Ooh, wow. Okay, that 4-seamer comes in at 99.
Get that front foot down.
You can kind of tell that this is a guy where they maybe didn't put a whole lot of effort into making sure all of his pitch information was accurate, because it kind of doesn't make sense. If you throw a 99-mile-an-hour 4-seamer, you're probably not throwing a 93-mile-an-hour sinker. There's maybe at most a couple miles per hour difference, not 5 or 6. If he's throwing a 4-seamer at 99, the circle change is probably not going to be low to mid 90s. Base hit up the middle from Mountcastle. So, just that alone is going to make Holderman a little bit more difficult to hit. If there's, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any pitcher in the majors who has a consistent 15-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and changeup. It's just not how that pitch works. It's usually somewhere between 5 and 10. A really good one, there might be 8-mile-an-hour difference.
Good at framing, but it's that big arm that really
it's mostly pitch tunneling and movement that makes that pitch effective, not a huge gap in velocity.
Big arm like that behind the plate, it really shuts down the running game.
Oh, that's gonna get through. That was a lazy hit. I was just trying to fight that off, and it somehow got through the infield.
2 for 2 now on the night, and
I think I'm getting a little bit lucky with balls in play in this game, just because the Pittsburgh pitching isn't that great.
3-2 now.
So these guys' hit per 9 rating probably isn't that high. So that's why the BABIP is a little bit elevated. That was smoke.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. The right-hander gives up the 2-out walk.
Base is loaded.
That's a nice job of grinding out that at-bat.
Jorge Polanco.
And ends up drawing the walk. Very gritty.
And the righty deals. Tapped at the plate,
Ooh.
but it's a foul ball.
That sinker, 91.
Take a rip at. He wants to get his arms
I was
extended,
early
wants
on
the
it.
ball away from him a little bit, just not able to square it up.
And it's a ground ball right back to the mound. He throws home for some reason. There were 2 outs. He could have just thrown that to first.
They hold a 5-0 lead.
And it's 5-0 Orioles through 2.
Back here at the ballpark, and now the veteran catcher
Jacob Stallings catching for the Pirates. That's jarring. I'm trying to think. Like I think Stallings came up with the Pirates, then went to the Marlins. Yeah, acquired from Miami in 2023, and now he's back with the Pirates somehow. All right, let's try to get that slider working. Let's see if we can get him to chase one. I really want to get that pitch established. And it's a base hit.
Swing and a line drive, base hit.
Yeah, that just, it might not be a pitch that we can really lean on in this game. He just doesn't have it. Sometimes that happens. 2-2 count to Rodolfo Castro. I'm going to go change up. I either want the swing and a miss or I want him to pound this ball into the ground for a double play. And I missed. Full count. Let's go fastball away. I don't want to walk him.
And down on strikes.
And he swung at it, thank God. It wasn't over the plate.
G1 Bay.
That'll bring out Bay. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Don't watch a whole lot of Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. Ji-Hwan Bai, I'm going to guess. I know I just called him Bay, but I think it's probably Bai.
Next one
misses with a curveball.
Always tough to turn 2
let's go back fastball away.
With him coming out of the left-handed batter's box.
Oh shit, that's going to get into left field. Hap's going to cut it off. The runner's going to go for third, and he is out. Oh my God, he's safe. How? The throw beat him by a mile. I don't know how Beatty didn't get this tag down.
Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity. Right on top of it. Could be a chance here for them to
Oh my God, he backhanded the throw in and then swiped across. Oh my God. I thought I had him by a mile. And now we got second and third, one out. We got a bit of a problem. Pop up into center. Mullins is under it. We're going to load up the throw. Here it comes. We're going to have a play at the plate. He is safe again. Oh my God. I mean, it's 1 run in a 5-1 game, but I thought we had that guy thrown out twice. I thought we had that guy thrown out twice. I want to take a look at this one now. It's a shallow fly ball to center field. Let's just focus on the catcher. Shallow fly ball. Mullins, I don't think, has a great arm. Comes up throwing. It's a little bit off. Rushman takes forever to get back to the plate. And, yeah, I guess he never gets the tag on until Stallings touches home. Just that's 2 in a row where, like, I thought we had Stallings thrown out on a base running decision where he had no business trying to take the base.
Hard hit left side.
Ground ball to throw the third. Beatty across the diamond to Prado. 3 outs. We give up a run. It feels cheap, but we still got a 5-1 lead midway through the third. And that'll bring up Cody Bellinger, who singled. Knocked in a run and scored a run back in the first inning.
He played in the 2007 Little League World Series. He's the 14th player ever to play in both the Little League World Series
and that is hammered to deep left field. Zawinski had him played perfectly. Only has to move a few steps back. All right, after this half inning, I'm probably going to have to pause this real quick and feed this cat because he's starting to annoy the shit out of me. I don't know if y'all can hear that. All right, Brett Beatty, he's 1 for 1.
Swing and a miss.
That sinker is giving me problems. It's so slow.
As a hitter, you've got to look up in the zone. If you look down, you're going to be chasing stuff in the dirt.
That one in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'm trying to stay. Let's see, 2-2 count.
Lifted in the air.
And that's a looper into left. That's going to get down for extra bases. Oh, go! Oh, my God. Well, it was going to be a double either way.
In safely with a double, his second of the day.
Zawinski came in to try to dive and make the play, and it got past him. Beatty doesn't run well, so even though he stayed at first momentarily for some reason, I sent him. It just didn't respond. I don't think he was going to get more than 2 anyway, so nothing hurt. Runner on second, 1 away for Ahmed Rosario.
Man at second.
This is not a great matchup for Rosario. I do not like using right-handed hitters against right-handed sinker ball pitchers. That is just a matchup that never works out well for me. Yeah. And he came with the 4-seamer. It wasn't 99 this time. He's definitely getting tired. It was 94. But it still was able to get in on me, handcuff me, popped it up. I like this matchup better with Ian Happ. Hopefully we get a 2-out hit and get that runner in from second. And it's a sinker. He is definitely tired. It's a sinker down. I swung through it. Ooh, that should have been strike 3. That was a slider down and in. I should have laid off that. Was able to foul it off. Oh, that runs in and gets Happ. Ian Happ will take first base on the hit by pitch. That'll bring up Cedric Mullins. He's 1 for 2 with a solo homer. He's got a 2-out RBI opportunity here.
No, actually, I think we're good, Chris.
And he almost gets hit with a slider. Has to back out of the way. Full count. Runners will be going. And that runs away. Ball 4. Bases will be loaded. Holderman's still in the game, even though he's exhausted. Not sure what the manager's waiting for. And that misses down low. Full count. Bases loaded. Runners are going to be on the move. And it's a base hit. Wow, I thought that was going to get through. O'Neill Cruz somehow got to that ball. I thought that was going to get through the infield.
He didn't make great contact, but the effort was there, and he earned.
I guess that's what happens when you got like a 6-7 shortstop. He just covers so much ground, but he made a bad decision. There was no play at first base. I sent the runner around third. He could have thrown to third and had me by a mile. I was in no man's land. That'll make a pitching change. Denelson Lamet coming in. 2.84 ERA, 18 strikeouts in 19 innings. He's got better stuff than anybody we've seen so far. Let's see if it matters. That ball's lifted into center field. It's going to hang up for Reynolds. We leave him loaded, but at least we get one. 6-1 through 3 innings. I'm going to have to pause it real quick here because I got to go feed a very hungry, very pissed off cat. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, Kopech top of the fourth, facing three lefties in a row.
John Sciambi with Chris Singleton, and set to lead off the fourth, O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz. Fouls off a high fastball.
Pirates just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside
he was
the zone,
late on that. Let's go back with another high fastball.
Can they turn that around and stay within the zone?
Again, too high. The control hasn't been great for Cruz. Let's go back to the changeup. Again, he's pretty much been a two-pitch pitcher.
Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
It's been good enough to hold the Pirates in check for the most part. It hasn't been a dominating start, but when you get 6 runs from your offense through 3 innings, you got a little bit of wiggle room. All right, let's go back to the fastball.
Got him swinging.
And he swings and misses. He was late. He was just late on the fastball. Jack Sawinski, let's go with a get-me-over curveball, see if I can steal a strike on 3-1. Yep. Okay.
Well, I think that
3-2, let's try a fastball away.
Doesn't get a swing. Not very often you see a hitter lay off.
Oh, he lays off of it, ball 4.
Pretty good spot.
What I don't want to be doing right now is walking people, so that's disappointing.
Now the first baseman, G-Man Choi.
Sawinski on first. Let's see if I can get G-Man Choi to either chase a changeup or hit one on the ground.
Next pitch off the plate.
It was a changeup up and away, and he almost swung at it. 2-2, let's go with a high fastball. Yep, blew him away.
And he's down on strikes.
All right.
For the second time today.
Harrison Bader.
Speed threat. Harrison Bader.
I wouldn't mind Harrison Bader just hitting the ball in the air somewhere.
Next pitch,
I'm not really worried about him doing too much damage. Let's try a changeup. Swing and a miss.
Strike 2.
Let's try the slider. Let's try it. There it is. We got a swing and a miss on the slider. Kopech gets us out of the fourth. 6-1 Orioles. Heading to the bottom of the fourth.
And welcome back. Ready to go.
And that'll bring up Nick Prado. He's 1 for 1 with a double, an RBI, and a run. Facing Nelson Lamet.
Swing.
I still kind of trying to pick up Lamet's release angle. He actually hides the ball pretty well. And let's see. Okay, I picked up that pretty well. It's kind of hard to differentiate slider and fastball, but once I do that, yep, I was late on that again. I think once I get more comfortable with Lamet and his stuff, I'm going to get locked in on him and I'll be able to put some damage on him. But it might take a little bit to just get really comfortable being able to recognize what's slider and what's fastball.
As to being a member of the Baltimore Orioles.
For me, it was just pulling into the parking lot.
He doesn't have anything else. It's either 4-seamer, 2-seamer, or slider.
Or a pat on the back, regardless of how things were going.
Ooh, okay. Like, I thought that was a slider.
Whether you were doing well or you were struggling.
I've still not. This has not been comfortable at bats.
Great place to play, and I'd say it's got to be one of the top places in all of baseball.
And now the count filled up 3-2. And you had a cameo in the movie Moneyball as an Orioles player in a highlight clip. The 3-2 is
all right. Ball 4.
Edge, and that is ball 4.
You know what
very close off the outside corner.
I just realized? I probably should have checked this a long time ago, but I haven't. Okay, all my volume is pretty low. Hopefully you can hear me. I didn't think to test this before I did a video.
The 2-1. Foul back our way, and that's out of play.
Actually, I am gonna turn commentary volume all the way off. They've probably been talking over me this entire game, and it's probably been super annoying. I apologize. Again, like, I have not streamed anything in probably a month and a half. That did not even occur to me. All right, full count. We're going to send the runner. Oh, it's a strike 3. I thought that was a fastball away, and it was a slider, and it came back over the outside corner for strike 3. But at least we stole second base with Jorge Polanco. Runner at second, 2 away for Brett Beatty. He's 2 for 2. It's going to be a 2-1 count to Beatty. I'm going to be setting fastball here. I want to turn on something. Ooh, I was early. I got the fastball. My eyes lit up, and I got too excited. 2-2 count. Oh, good pitch. I'll tell you what, Dinelson Lamet is clearly the best pitcher that I've faced so far on the staff. Fifth inning. This is probably going to be it for Kopech, but I want to have... He's got 45 innings. He's only pitched 20. He's only pitched 12. Let's go Keegan Aiken. If I can't get through this inning, Aiken will come in. In fact, he might just come in to face the top of the lineup anyway because it's all lefties. I don't know. I'd kind of like to get Kopech the win. So maybe I'll let him stay in regardless as long as his pitch count doesn't get too high. Ooh, that ball was hit well. All right, well, that tells me to go change up with the next pitch. And it's a grounder to short. Rosario up, over, across, 2 away. Quick 2 outs. Ji Hwan Bai. Go fastball away. Ooh, strike 2. Got the call. All right, let's go back to the changeup. That's probably been the best pitch for us so far. He lays off. Let's go slider down and in. If it misses, we'll go fastball. He fought it off. All right, we're going high fastball. Misses. All right, now we come back changeup on 3-2. Oh, it's going to get down the line. Happ trying to cut it off. Bai is fast. He's probably going to get 2. Stand-up double for Ji Hwan Bai. Okay. This very well might be the last batter for Kopech. If he's not able to get Brian Hayes, we're probably going to go to the pen. Gets a check swing strike, 2-2 to Hayes. Let's go back to the high fastball. Too high, 3-2. All right, let's go slider down and away. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kopech gets us through 5. In line for the win. So let's get Keegan Aiken ready and waiting, and he's going to come into this game and pitch the 6th inning. And we've got Ahmed Rosario leading off against Dinelson Lamet. And that's ripped through the hole for a base hit. That was a slider that hung on the inner half, and we turned on it. And that'll bring up Ian Happ. Oh, chopper up the middle. Could be 2. Second to 1. Safe first. Took a long time to develop. Cedric Mullins takes ball 2. I might try to swipe second here with Hap. Yep, got to go back. Hap got a poor jump. I probably would not have swung at that pitch if I wasn't stealing second. But Hap was going to get thrown out if I took that pitch. And I was hoping to just foul it off, but I actually put it in play. Mountcastle, 1-1 count. Takes ball 2. That's well hit in the right center field, but that's going to hang up there. And it is playable. That's Brian Reynolds at right. I've been saying Brian Reynolds in center all game. Brian Reynolds is clearly playing right field. Sawinski's at left. I don't know who's playing center field. Reynolds is 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. And this is Keegan Aiken. And he swings and fouls off a fastball away. He was a little bit late. Let's try to run the slider down and in, see if we can get him to chase. Ooh, it was way down and in. He's somehow able to hold up 2-2. All right, let's go fastball up. Lays off. Full count. Ooh, I did not want curveball. I want changeup. Circle change. Run it down and away. Perfect pitch. Strike 3. All right. O'Neill Cruz, 2-2 count. I want to go fastball up and in under the hands. Got him to foul it off. Now we can come back with a slider down and away and hope to get him to chase. Way too far off the plate. Easy take. Let's go change up down and in. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts on the change up so far. And I'll bring up Jack Sawinski. I'm going to go curveball to Sawinski. He went. Strike 2. 2-1 count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Keegan Aiken comes in and strikes out the side in the 6th inning. Let's see. We have a lefty and 2 righties due up in the next inning, but I'm not super afraid of any of those hitters hitting against the lefty, so we're just going to keep Keegan Aiken in to face the lineup, or to pitch a 2nd inning. Let's let him get some work in. We got a big lead. Robert Stevenson in for the Pirates to face Adley Rushman. And it is a curveball ripped foul. And it's a looper into center field. On comes the center fielder, whoever it is, the mystery man. Oh, it's Harrison Bader. That's right. Makes the play. Nick Prado up 1 for 2. And that ball's lifted into left center field. Bader going back. He'll have a play deep into the left center field gap. It was well hit. Just hung up long enough. And that'll bring up Jorge Polanco. He takes a fastball inside. Ball 2. Ooh, that curveball just takes forever to get to the plate. It's like a Bugs Bunny pitch. 2-2 count. Yeah, that's not even fair. You throw a 74-mile-an-hour curveball and then come back with a 99 or 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Yeah, now I'm off balance. Yeah. That was a really, really, really good pitch mix. That's all that was. All right. Top of the 7th, 6-1. Get ahead on a fastball. He's early. Let's go slider down and away. Ooh, it hung over the plate, but it's a lazy fly ball to left field. Hap's going to come over and make the play. One away. Harrison Bader. He fouls one off. 1-2 count. Let's go. Change up, run it down and away to Bader. Swing and a miss, strike 3 in the dirt. Rushman makes the play, but throws wide to first base. Oh, it's an error. It's an error on Rushman. All right. Now we got the speedy Harrison Bader on first. Let's try a curveball to Jacob Stallings, see if we can get him to roll over it. And he swings and fouls it off. He is early. Let's go back to the changeup. And he chases it. Strike 3. And I'll bring up Rodolfo Castro. Let's go high fastball to Castro. He takes. Let's come back to the changeup down and away on a 2-1 count. He takes. 3-1. Let's go fastball away. And it's a lazy fly ball in the center. Mullins is going to settle under it. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the 7th inning. It is 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up Cody Bellinger. Face Robert Stevenson. Yeah, Stevenson has me very, very off balance. Yeah, see, I'm caught in between. There is a 25-mile-an-hour gap between his curveball and his fastball. And, like, I feel like if I sit on either one, I'm not going to be able to get to the other. And I'm not entirely sure what to do right now. Late on the fastball. I was on that fastball, but I popped it up. It was a fastball right down the middle. Had good timing, but not able to do anything with it. These have been some nightmare bats against Robert Stevenson. I'm feeling pretty fortunate that we got some runs early off of the Pittsburgh starter, off Brad Keller, because since he's come out of this game, we haven't done much. That's strike 3. I mean, these are not even competitive at bats right now. We have 1 run in 6 and a third inning. We have 1 run in 6 and a third inning since Brad Keller got chased from the game. We're at 35 pitches for Keegan Aiken. I'm probably just going to let him go as long as he can, and then I'll probably turn it over to DL Hall, get him some work. I'm going to sort of give my... it's a bunt. Rushman, slow to get out of the box, slow to get into first, and Bay. Fuck, I say that name different every time. He has a bunt hit. All right, let's go. Change up down and away. I'd like to get a double play. Ground ball to second. Polanco to Rosario to Prado. 4-6-3 double play. It's a quick 2 outs. Let's go curveball to Reynolds, try to steal a strike. Oh, slow roller back to the mound. Aiken fields it, throws to Prado. 3 scoreless innings for Keegan Aiken out of the bullpen. We're going to give the ninth inning to DL Hall. It'll be Jose Hernandez in to pitch against Ian Happ. Four-seam fastball taken high. Okay, this is another guy. This is another guy that I can tell that Sony San Diego just didn't put a whole lot of time into getting his pitch mix correct. Nobody throws a 96-mile-an-hour fastball with an 80-mile-an-hour changeup. That's just not a real pitch mix. Yeah, I don't know. So this was a thing that used to happen back in baseball games, going all the way back to like MVP baseball. Oh, that's going to get down. I thought for sure that was going to be... That's going to be a triple. I thought for sure that was going to be a fly out off the bat. That's why I didn't really give it any kind of a call or get excited or anything. I thought that was just a lazy fly ball. It carries into left center field. Gets over the head of Zawinski for a triple. And we got a runner on third, one out. Full count to Mountcastle. Oh, and it was swing and a miss at a slider down and in. That was set up for Mountcastle to, excuse me, just have to put a ball in play, and he couldn't do it. Line drive up the middle, playable for Cruz. We'll head to the ninth. What I was going to say, though, is back to like MVP baseball and even like triple play baseball in the late 90s. It was a little bit more arcade. It started getting into more like simulation style baseball as you got towards MVP baseball. But there were still elements of arcade in that you would see pitchers that threw maybe like low 90s. Because there weren't a lot of guys that threw upper 90s back then. So like low 90s was a pretty good fastball. But guys would have changeups in like the 60s. And they were just impossible to hit. And there's still like a little bit of that seems to carry over into how they set up pitch mix even into this game, which is supposed to be like hardcore simulation. I've criticized Sony San Diego like a few times with how they rate their players. Oh wow. Soft ground ball up the middle, and O'Neal Cruz is so fast he just beats it out. So they do a lot of the ratings, I think, based on like 3-year stretches of statistics, which works pretty well for veteran guys, because after 3 years, you have like a pretty good set of information to go on and how to rate guys. I think they do pretty good on ratings on veteran guys. On young players, there's not that much information to draw on. It's usually small sample sizes, and they just drastically misrate players. And what I think they should be doing is either aggregating different projection systems in order to give like a stat projection to draw off of and to set ratings off of, or they should just like contract one projection system, maybe Zips. Send Dan Zaborski a nice check and say, we want to incorporate Zips. Do your ratings off of Zips projections. They're more accurate than the going off of ratings. It's something that, like, in baseball, in a game that, like, statistics and projections are such a big part of the game. The fact that this game just doesn't use them, I just don't understand how that's a thing. So I spend a lot of time whenever this game comes out going over the rosters and just re-rating like every player in the game because they're I would say like probably like 25% of them are pretty good, pretty accurate, but the bulk of them just way off, not even close. And one thing that I just don't have the time or energy to do because of all the things I described in the first 5 minutes of this video is to go over like pitch cast data and match up pitchers' actual pitches and their actual stuff with what's in the game. I cannot believe that Sony doesn't have somebody on the staff that does that, but seeing stuff like 98-mile-an-hour fastballs and then like high 70 to low 80 changeups just tells me that they don't have that person that's doing that and say like this is not a real thing. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I work a job that I don't like, and then to come home and play a baseball game that I do like, I have to put in all this work just to get it like up to par. And I would like to say like, Sony, just pay me what I'm making now, and I will come in and do all the ratings for you. And it'll be a better game, but I know that's not realistic. It's a little fucking rant that I'm going to go on here at the end of this game. Strike 3 to Jacob Stallings. DL Hall, a little shaky in the ninth. I bitched about the ratings the entire ninth inning, so I hope you enjoyed that. But the Orioles are going to come out of this with a 6-1 win. We did the bulk of the damage in the first inning. Just hung on after that. Got some really good pitching. Michael Kopech was good enough to get us through 5. Keegan Aiken came in, pitched 3 beautiful scoreless innings, and then DL Hall finished it off in the ninth. This is a team that I really feel is moving in the right direction. Just to give you all an update, because you're probably watching this thinking like, is it going to be another month and a half to 2 months before I do the next stream? I actually have next week off of work. This coming week off of work. Monday and Friday, my wife works from home. I probably won't play those days, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm probably going to play quite a bit of PlayStation. I'll probably do some streams that day. I can't tell you what it's going to be like after that, but it shouldn't be that long of a wait before I stream more. I'll probably sim ahead a little bit before I play the next game. I'm probably going to play against the Cubs in my next game. I think that's probably going to be the best spot to do. I like to play like 2 games a month. That's about right for me. And then if we make the playoffs, I'm going to play all of those games. Played at home against Pittsburgh. I could play on the road against the Giants, but I've played games in that stadium. Oops. I've played games in that stadium in San Francisco. I don't like the hitter's background. I usually don't hit well there. I would much rather play the Cubs. The Cubs are my favorite team. Baltimore is my wife's team. So it'd be fun to play against my team, the Cubs, see how they're doing. So that's probably going to be the next game I play. I hope you've enjoyed. It was fun doing this. I don't get to do it as often as I'd like anymore. But hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.